Going live. Welcome back to the Get Up Girl. I am here with my gal Nohemi Valdez. Many of you know her sister Salome Valdez. We do our little two chicks and a mic show, and this is Nohemi. I'm really excited to have this chat today. How the heck are you in this February of 2021?
I'm doing great. I had a really good 6 mile run. And even though I run really in the same place almost every time I go running outside, it's always very different for me. So today was a sunrise and it was beautiful and I listened to different music. So I feel very energized and I feel good.
Yeah, to give a little backstory, I did say it in the intro. You were an avid runner, which you were not always, and then now you work out with me consistently online with my Live Fully Academy, membership. With that, let's go back a little bit because we're all about how to get back up, and it's like, give me some tips and tools. Nohemi, take us back before you were in a car accident, and I'm very little familiar with this, so I would love to hear the story. What the heck happened?
So in 2008, I graduated from Cal State Fullerton, and then I moved in with my mom in my hometown, Calexico, in the Imperial Valley. It's a border town to Mexico, Mexicali.
Yep.
And I lived with my mom for about a year and a half, paid off my school loans, and was working at an In-N-Out in the city of El Centro there. So I was paying off my school loans and just kind of living there with my mom, partying a lot, partying a lot, a little too much.
Partying and In-N-Out.
And
That
in
sounds
and
fun.
out, making a lot of new friendships. It was actually a really fun time of my life. And one of the nights, I was not drinking and driving. I just want to be clear because I heard a rumor about that and no. Was just driving, and it's a very it was a very dark road where there aren't even any lights. You just kind of have to be a local to know how to drive there. A lot of agriculture. And I was looking for this one street and missed the stop sign. I wasn't even driving fast or anything, and got hit on the side of my car really hard. And so the guy was coming probably like 70 or 80. Again, there's hardly any stop signs, no stop lights at all. And my car wrapped around an electricity pole. And thank God I was wearing a seatbelt. I had a really big scar right here. And obviously survived. And the other person was well too. And after that, I broke my hand and split my knee open. Then I had to do some very intensive physical therapy and just got really into working out because at the time I wasn't very into nutrition or really paying attention to my body. At the time I was 21. And I just I was careless in a way regarding my body. So I don't like to say blessing in disguise or whatever, but I think that's really what started my workout journey or consistent workout journey because I danced in high school.
Well, Nohemi, you're
Um,
21. Let's go back to that night. Did you knock out? Did you go unconscious? And if so, when you woke up, or were you scared? Did you cry? Did you think you were dead?
So I'm not sure if you've ever been in a car accident. I'm sure people that have been in really bad car accidents will recall the sound of just like crushing glass, metal, the tire, like it's things like you watch on maybe like a TV or a movie. And it's just way worse than that because part of it. You see the headlights. And it was a very scary part of my life. I remember just being really scared, going in circles or wrapped around this electricity pole. The whole car went in this way too. And I was feeling fine. I got out really quick, jumped out. I had one chancla on. I was wearing chanclas. I had one chancla on, like just got out really
People
quick.
that don't know what that is, that's a sandal.
A
Okay.
sandal. And I just got out and I was more concerned about the other car. So I just kind of ran out and checked on the guy. He was doing well. And then I started feeling like just like warm, like it's kind of gross, but just like a warm watery liquid near my left toe. And then once I looked down, my knee was like split open, and I could see my bone and just like blood rushing out. And then I guess that's when my
Then it
brain
kicked in. Yeah.
kicked in and said,
Mhm.
okay, like you're hurt. My arm was swollen. So yes, it was really, really scary. And even to now, when I hear like really hard, just kind of like a car's tire or just anything like that, I get a little
It comes back.
startled because it comes
Yeah.
back to that.
After
Yeah.
the car accident, did you do any kind of therapy, mindset therapy, or anything? Because did you have traumatic flashbacks from the car accident? Because I can only imagine when trauma sits in the body and then it'll turn into things, other things of a dis-ease. Did that happen to you, and did you seek therapy?
I did not seek professional therapy. I think it did help that I talked about it often with friends. My mom's experience, just even listening to my mom. By the way, I didn't want to call my mom because I felt like I didn't want her to worry. So I ended up calling one of my sisters that was at the time in Orange County. This is about 4 hours away, 3.5. And I just told her I've been in a bad car accident. I don't want to go to the hospital. I don't want the ambulance to pick me up. I don't have health insurance. Like,
So you
I
waited
was,
for 3.5 hours for your sister to come pick you up?
no, I just called her because she's kind of like my helpline,
Okay. Well, how'd you get to the
Minerva.
hospital?
So I ended up calling a friend from the city, and he actually got there before the ambulance picked me up, and he took me to the hospital.
Mhm.
Before him taking me to the hospital, I called my sister and I said, hey, this is what's going on. I'm more scared that I'm going to have a big medical bill after this. That was my number
That
one
was your bigger
concern.
concern than your
Yes.
actual knee. Yeah,
Yes.
interesting, especially at 21. That's the
Oh,
biggest thing we
oh my
could think
gosh.
about.
I was
Yeah.
paying school loans. That was my
Mhm.
whole, plan. I had everything organized. I already knew that I was only going to live there for a year and a half. I was going to pay off my school loans, move back to
Mhm.
LA, and
And life
that
comes
was
in.
like, yeah, that was like the curveball. And I just thought, I can't stop paying my
Mhm.
school loans, and I don't have health insurance. And I was even thinking like, maybe if I like seep my body in the tub, like I was just, oh my gosh, I just did not want to go to the hospital. And then I called my sister and she said, hey, if you don't go to the hospital, I'm going to drive over there right now. It takes about 3.5 hours, and you're going to feel worse because you're going to
Because I wanna
kind of
make
like
you
make
go.
me,
Yeah. Uh-huh.
yeah, go to the hospital. And I just thought, okay, that's true. And so I just told her, please don't tell mom. Just text her and let her know that I'm okay and that I'm spending the night somewhere else. I just didn't want my mom
Mhm.
to
Got
worry.
it. But now after the car
Yeah.
accident, let's go to how you got back up. Like, what was the first thing that you did?
Gosh, the car accident really changed my life. Again, the thing that really physically, with the physical therapy, I became really good friends. I'm still really good friends with my physical therapist from then. And I just kind of took a step back, like stop and smell the roses type of thing, and really thought like shit. Cause I remember driving and thinking like, what kind of like excited that I was going to go out to this like house party or whatever, and then like listening to music and just distracted all the time. I'm constantly distracted all the time. And I just thought, had I paid attention, not that I was speeding, had I just freaking looked up, I would have seen the stop sign. I just was kind of distracted at the time. So
Mhm.
it really pushed like the brakes and said, chill out and work on your body, and not like, physically, but just take care of your body. Um, so it just kind of was more of that.
What were you like in with fitness before this accident? Were you a little more overweight? Were you not working
Oh yeah.
out since high school?
Yeah, I was about almost 200 pounds before the car accident. High school, I guess I was pretty fit cardio wise. I wasn't like fit like this, but I was
Okay.
actually doing drill team, as you know,
Mhm.
is in
Maybe a little
itself a
soft.
really good,
Mhm.
yeah. Drill team is a great workout, and we were rehearsing every day. And so that was fun. I never ran though. It was more of a dance thing. This is fun. Let's do cardio. I didn't run in college. I didn't even really care to do any of that stuff. I was working 3 jobs at the time and going to school full time. So working out was not a priority at the time when I was in college. And then it kind of just like melted into my real life because I just wasn't comfortable really working out. And then this happened, and then that's when I started getting really into fitness and lost like
Yeah.
50
So what's the
or
first
something
thing
pounds.
that you did, Nohemi, when it came to fitness? What's the first thing? Because if you were 200, you had to do one step.
It is not even a magic. I mean, it's kind of like bigger people, like we stop drinking soda, like we lose weight that way.
So
It
the
was
first thing you
really
did was
just
you stopped drinking soda.
drinking, limiting alcohol intake. It really is just a diet. There's no special pill. People kind of want to know, like, I constantly had people, what did you do? How did you? I'm like, I just watched my portions. Like, it's really not a magic pill at all. Number one was nutrition, because at the time I couldn't really walk. I was walking on a cane. So I
Okay.
was kind of doing some movement, but it was more so like, all right, I got to drink more water, eat more grains, the simplest thing people really should do. And that's all I did. And I lost weight that way. And
Yeah.
then when I started able to drop the cane and did the physical therapy, I started running, just running, because at that time there weren't really any gyms around there. So I just ran in the agricultural fields. And that was really liberating for me, because I learned to love to run, and I
Mm.
haven't stopped since. So
Did
I
you fall in
love
love with the
running.
earth when that happened? Did you fall in love with nature?
It was more so I fell in love with being alone and working out. Again, I mostly did dancing, so you're constantly with someone else, you're communicating, you have somebody else, but this is a different type of cardio and really forces you to hear your thoughts. And
Yeah.
so for so long, I just started kind of just running and getting that runner's high that people talk about. I was definitely getting it. And it started with 1 mile, 2 miles, 4 miles, and then I started
No,
doing
you're
half
like a
marathons,
six.
marathons.
Yes.
Yeah.
Noemi, let's talk about that. You've done a full marathon?
Yeah, I've done 3 actually.
3 full marathons. Which
Yes.
ones?
So, oh my gosh, the first one I did was the Athens in Greece full marathon, and it's extra special to me because that's where that's where it started. Like, that's where the name came from, in marathons and running. So it was really cool to be to do my first marathon there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Really? Okay, so
Athens.
the actual first marathon happened in Greece?
Yes. So it was. Gosh, I probably should have looked into this
Researched it,
before.
but
Let
let
me
me
let me let me,
Google
let
it.
me see if I got this right. So it's like it was from the city of Marathon. Like, it was like a messenger. I know people are probably going to ask me exactly what, and I can research it later. Running to provide a message to the
Okay.
city of Athens, and that was like the 24 point whatever
Got
miles.
it.
Yeah,
Yes.
so
Okay.
that's
I
what
get
we
what you're
ended up
saying.
doing, the actual route.
And now
So
we do it with a bib and a medal at the end. Okay,
yeah.
that makes sense. Wow, 3 marathons. Okay, because somebody as I that wants to, I guess, fall in love with running. What was the first thing that you fell in love with? Like, was it the quietness? Because it is scary to be there, like, oh, I need my earphones. What was it for you, Noemi?
So I do listen to music, or I listened more to music now. Actually, like even earlier today, I didn't listen to music. I just listened to the waves, the beach. I ran
Really?
at the beach,
Wow,
but
that's awesome.
before that, I constantly, again, my mind is still going like this, and so I needed to listen to music. I actually put music where it's like warm up music to really fast to. So I was constantly like, okay, like personal record, because again, at that time I was losing weight pretty fast, and I felt more fit, and I felt like I can run this, these miles within like 7-minute mile type of average. And so that's not who I am now. So now I fell in love with, I'm not constantly trying to beat my record. I'm just wanting to finish it and having fun, as opposed to,
Like
like
a
all
check
these
mark?
like,
Before was
Yeah.
more like I have to do it. Is that what you're saying?
It was more like I have to do it, and also my competitive side of like, okay, I see that guy up there, and I'm gonna try to catch up to him. Oh, okay.
Okay.
Oh
Yeah,
shit, I
yeah.
like he's back there now. Okay, who's next? Like I
Yes.
was more competitive, like even running with my fingers like this, the way your blood flows, your
Yes.
back. I wouldn't even stop to eat. Like I would grab like a Cliff Bar and like do the.
Yeah.
So
And
I
run
was
and eat at the same time.
really, yeah, I
Yeah.
just didn't even want to stop to like pee. Like I was just like
But
very
yeah,
like that.
Noemi, it goes back to the same thing when you were driving the car. Like you said, you were not in tune with it. You were not paying attention. So
Yeah.
then you could do it again, right? Okay. So how are you now when you run?
Yeah, so I thought we were going to talk about that mostly. So
He's
I was
ready.
already
Okay.
prepared to talk, which I was going to just now compare it to the car accident. I feel again in my life where it's just like kind of stop. And because in the beginning of the whole pandemic, um, side note, I want to also say I'm sensitive to people. Everyone is on a different boat. I don't think we're all on the same boat. Like I kind of hear people quoting. I think we're all on a different boat, and everyone it's case by case. So for me, this is my experience. I'm fortunate to continue working from home and working full time. So I know that my experience is very different than maybe a neighbor's or a friends of mine. So I just want to be sensitive to that topic as well. So for me, I noticed that now everything's canceled. I had a trip to Sri Lanka and Dubai, and for this past April to 2020, canceled a Mexico trip, this and that. And I was forced again to just be home and really with my thoughts. So I noticed that in the beginning of the pandemic, I started again trying to fill up my calendar somehow. Whether it be like, okay, like Manny, my boyfriend, hey, we're gonna have this painting night. Okay, we're gonna do this beer fest this next weekend. Okay, let me
We're
check
gonna
my
do a
calendar.
family Zoom something. We're gonna do
Family Zoom. Okay, I'm gonna learn. I'm gonna learn to crochet. Like it was just
yeah.
like constantly. Like I felt my personality of like, man, like I feel like if I don't do anything, am I a failure? Am I, And I think it's just our society that it's constantly like, oh, now you have time to, get that second degree or whatever. I just
Whatever. Yeah.
constantly
Mhm.
and so that was for a few months. I was even starting to get busier than I was pre-COVID,
Mm.
and I thought, what the fuck? Like, I don't know if I can cuss here. I just felt no. Now it's again where I have to just read more. Thank you, Joanna, again.
Mhm.
I'm very appreciative of you because of this, I was able to get to know you better, and I love your workout program, mental and physical, and just like really just chill, watch a little bit TV here. I have the books next to my bed,
Mhm.
and now I have more time to do those kinds of things. Where before I felt like I needed to schedule things and I needed to open my agenda and see, okay, highlight, okay, I'm gonna have fun this Saturday. Okay, what about next Saturday? And it's like, dude, like I
You're so
just,
cute.
yeah.
No, I mean, I love that. Oh, and thank you. I appreciate you saying that. Uh, the same. It took me 10, 11 months to ease up, And now I actually love a nothing calendar. I went to the other side of the dark side, And I'm like, oh, I don't want to do anything. So when somebody asks me, I'm like, I actually like not having anything. And what I like, Noemi, is waking up that day and then choosing instead of it's in the future. So I already know I'm going to have fun. So I'm going to have
Mhm.
fun this Saturday. Well, what if I just wake up Saturday, have nothing, and then I have fun? Do you have
Yeah.
the same idea? Like you're already looking in the future and I have to plan my fun?
Well, my Saturday commitment is 9 a.m. with Fit Factor, so
Yep.
I'm already knowing like I'm gonna have fun
None.
with you guys.
Saturday
Um,
workout.
Saturday workouts. I think mostly for Sundays because I do work a 9 to 5 job, Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. And so that's already my commitment, Monday through Friday, working from home. And then, so I guess I could wake up, like I tell my friends, without an alarm really on Sundays, is when I just really don't try to schedule. Actually, I ended up scheduling a dance class this coming Sunday. So because it's a lot of fun taking dance Zoom classes. But typically I don't schedule anything on Sundays, and that's like sometimes I run for 6, 8, 10 miles. Sometimes I just watch TV. It just depends on how I feel that day.
Yeah, this
Usually Sunday.
pandemic has been such a gift to me. And the question I asked at the beginning was, what is the gift in it? And personally, it took about 10 months to receive the gift because I couldn't see it yet. And I thought what the gifts were actually different. And for me, it was falling genuinely in love with doing nothing, you know? And I thought I
Mhm.
loved doing nothing, but it was a little bit of a lie to myself. And I was distracting myself still with other things. And now I genuinely am in love with just chilling, and just being. It's interesting, Noemi, because we love animals, right? I mean, we love animals. Most people love animals, and animals can just chill. They know how to chill well. And as humans, we're like, we gotta go, and our whole worth is around like, what's in our calendar. So shout out to anybody out there who has fallen in love with that. I love that metaphor of the car, of you driving, and then we keep doing the same thing
Mhm.
because what do we say that the common denominator here is yourself? And I remember before, Noemi, I'm like, if I leave this, I'm just going to do the same thing over here. I'm going to do the same thing until I clean up myself. You know,
Mhm.
I'm the common denominator. I just keep taking Joanna along to the next ride, to the next ride. And I think this pandemic for myself has really reset. Well, you're also a burlesque dancer, and I want to talk about that. How fun and how expansive is that? I mean, for the girls that are like, "Ooh, I want to do that. Tell me more." How the heck did you get into this? Did you just wake up one morning and go, "I want to be a burlesque dancer"?
So I moved to Long Beach, California, about 3 years ago, and I just became familiar with local organizations, like even supporting small businesses around here. Um, uh, and one of the events that I looked at, or I don't know, it was maybe an Instagram advertisement or something, was a burlesque show. And so I just kind of started looking more into that. I don't know anyone, I didn't know at the time anyone else that did burlesque. And so I started looking into that, and it says something about the team that I'm in now was looking for, they're called like maids or kitty maids, the ones that kind of clean or pick up your clothes from the floor after you perform. And
Oh,
I thought, that would be kind of fun to do. I just, because I wasn't at the time dancing with Collaborate Dance, the dance company that I'm dancing again with now. So I thought, oh, that would be fun, because again, I have my Monday through Friday, and then that's it. I clock out, and then that's it. And then, and I don't have any children, so I felt like I just have this other type of time to try something new. And so looked into this, and I emailed the person, and I told them, I was like, oh, that would be fun. I said, I'm not sure. I'm not really familiar with burlesque, but I think I would like to do something like this. I have this in experience, these years of experience, dancing for so many years. And I've danced in carnival. I started name dropping, like carnival, this maxed out. And so the girl responds, and she's like,
mhm.
are you interested in auditioning for the actual team? Instead of like just not just like but
Like picking
cleaning
up the
after us.
clothes. But that does sound
Yeah,
fun.
it is, because you get, you dress up too, and like the MC guy like talks to you, and it's fun. So I told her, well, so then I felt like, oh shoot, because I'm constantly I'm more accepting of my body now, which is interesting, because when I thought I was like big or this or that, the fittest time of my life, I would say I was like maybe 25 or 26. And at that time, I was never enough. So I've constantly been like, in battle with my image. I just felt like, oh, well, then I can lose half a pound more, or I can fit into these jeans. Or it was like constant when I was in my mid 20s.
Mhm.
And now I feel more comfortable with my body, and I'm not how I used to look in my mid 20s, but I feel a lot more accepting of my body. And I thought, oh shoot, like burlesque dancer, okay. So I ended up auditioning, and I loved it. I love it. I still love it. We haven't been as active during the pandemic. We've done like little projects here and there virtually, So I'm excited to get back on stage and strip.
Yeah, tell us about that. I mean, do you wear pasties? Do you strip all the way down? Is it more of a tease? What does it look like?
So everyone has a different way of dancing. Even within the group, you could tell like this person does this more style, like softer, and then you have me with the freaking whip. Like I like to use props
Got it.
and get
Okay.
people
Yeah.
on stage, you
And you
know.
have your like persona, your alter ego kind of. No, I
Yes.
mean, is it like that?
So yeah, can I share my burlesque
Yes, share it.
Instagram? If anyone wants to follow is Miss MS and then underscore Chula and then underscore Morena. So my burlesque name is Chula Morena, Miss underscore Chula underscore Morena. If anyone wants to follow me on Instagram. I have a few solos. So I really like this dance team, burlesque team, because we have themed shows. So it can be like a Disney show, or it could be Game of Thrones, or they just have different themes. So it's a lot of fun. It's a group burlesque team. And then within that show, you can audition to have a solo if you're interested in. It's not mandatory. So maybe they want you to play a character, a specific character or something like that. So you get to also be creative and do your own costumes, or the person that's in charge of it will help you as well. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I went back to making costumes when I was in a dance company, Collaborate Dance Company. Salome was typically my sister, founder of Collaborate Dance Company, making my costumes. She just loves making costumes, as you know. She's very creative. And so now I'm doing my own costumes and it's so much fun. I love adding bling. Like I learned what glue to use, what material to use, you know, what bra type snaps off faster. Like, oh, so going back to pasties. So you don't always have to take your bra off, but I always do.
Wow. Is that a totally different Nohemi? Like, were you like that before?
No, I was always taking my bra off, girl.
Okay, so you were like the girl that's listening is like, I want to be like that, but that will never happen.
I've been kicked out of bars because I.
Okay, so you had that in you.
Oh yeah. Where
do you think that came from? Were you always like that? He's even a young girl, or did you have this like change? Because I know I had a change.
No, I was always like that.
Very carefree. Okay.
Very carefree in high school and college.
Okay, but Nohemi, the girl that's listening, that's not carefree. It is not her default. What would you tell her?
It is easier said than done. I can't be like, oh, just join burlesque, you know, because I know that I think it has to come within first. I could walk out in a thong and in these costumes, some of, you know, they're thongs or this, they're you know what I really liked about this team is that I never felt like I always felt like I belonged. I never felt like, oh, you're gonna be this character because you're bigger, you know, or I don't know. It just was like everyone is the same. Everyone wears the same costume. So I felt more comfortable with my body, even more so when I joined this burlesque team, because it's almost like we all have different bodies and everyone accepts it, and the audience loves it. I think the audience really loves when somebody is super confident, and that's what I've noticed too.
Okay.
And yeah, the audience I get really good audience feedback. So it's a lot of fun.
Did that shift anything with your relationship with your partner when you started doing these shows?
No, he loves them. He actually tells me he misses them.
Did you even like, you know, when you came home, did it add something? Like, that's what I mean. Did it add? What did it add?
Well, Maddie, my boyfriend, has always, and my other past boyfriends, they all know me as, again, taking my bra off type of person. Yeah. So they met me already like that. So when I mentioned it to him, hey, like I'm thinking of joining this burlesque team, and he's familiar with burlesque shows. I think he's gone to a few, not necessarily this one, but he was like, oh, cool. And he went to pretty much all my shows. He loves watching. He has his favorite performers. And so are you talking about like personal, like sexually or something?
Yeah, like whatever. I mean, I know when I teach my sexy classes. I come home
Mhm.
and my life is just grander for it. Anytime I just have one class.
Ah,
Even though I'm pretty
I
free, Noemi, it
yeah.
even still helps.
I think it's the same because I'm always very open and sexual
Anyway, anyway.
anyway.
Yeah.
So with my past partners, I've always been very open, and so right now I'm wearing a lot of makeup. Normally I don't, and so even just when I was putting makeup on, Manny, he's so cute. He's just like, babe, like qué bonita. You know,
Yeah.
he's all constantly like, even when I don't wear makeup, me hace cariños. You know, he's like,
Yes.
ay, qué lindo. Like he's constantly like
It
just
I
with
was
or without
laughing because I
makeup.
think it's the confidence that you have, right? That's what's sexy. And that you're saying the audience, they have their favorite ones. It's
Yeah.
confidence.
Yeah, I feel very comfortable with my body, and I'm still working on it. I can't say I'm like the most I probably am the most comfortable, but I know people that are more comfortable than I am even with their body.
Right.
But
Yeah.
even just like with anyone, like something like of taking my bra off, like even changing in front of people, like we did in high school, like nobody cared. With my
Yeah.
friends in college, and even with Manny, like even like after showering or whatever, like I come out, me pongo mis calzones, my underwear, like it's just, I don't know. It's almost like we're just very open. And
Yeah.
well, I should say, like him himself, he's very comfortable with his body too.
Yeah, that is so
Yeah.
I love that, Noemi, as that I'm listening because I'm a different person every 5 seconds, right? And there's some moments where I'm just so free, and then all of a sudden, I wanna put that towel on, and I'm by myself, and I'm like, "Noemi, what is this?" So that's why I'm talking for those everybody listening that's like, "Oh my gosh, I wish I had what Noemi has." And I do too. I'm like, it goes in and out for me. It's so interesting that I grew up in a naked house. Were you in a
Mhm.
naked house where everybody was just like, "No big deal"? Do you know what I mean? Or did you get this
Um,
later? Because to me, it was no big deal in our house.
My mom is a little bit more, even
Like
though she
like
shows her of her
or like
legs a lot.
conservative that way of like
I remember like growing up and her like kind of being a little bit more like this, or
uh-huh,
like, oh, if a guy touches you, like it's gonna go into this and this and this and this.
and you're like,
Um,
"Yeah.
I was like, huh? Y luego, what else?
Yes, let's go."
Teach me. um, which is funny because I don't know if you've ever met my mom, and she's 77 now, and everyone thinks like, oh my god, your mom is so wild, because she is. She's super wild. So people might not think like at the time she was a
Yeah,
little bit more like this. I think because her mom, my grandma, was very very religious.
mhm,
So she's kind of like the different one from her family.
yeah.
um but she's gone to burlesque shows. She loves watching me perform, and she gets excited, and then
That's so great.
um
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. So
yeah,
but naked house, I don't think so too much. I think my mom, growing up, was a little bit more
the
like,
more
we got our
yeah,
period, like it's a little bit more
yeah,
private. But
yeah,
then
got it.
yeah, I think she learned that some men are like we don't we are
I
like,
love that you
yeah.
girls kinda just flipped it on your own, like, you would
Mhm.
just had that. Yeah, and then I grew up the other way and then kind of got a little more conservative. I'm like, "What is that?" And now I'm starting to be more confident. I'm growing more into my skin, so to speak, and, yeah, that's an interesting one. God, we can have a whole show just on that
I
because
love
I would
talking about that because I feel like I was also that person again when I was my fittest, and I see pictures and I
yeah, and you're like,
toned.
"What?" And I was hiding when I looked like this,
Yeah.
right?
I
Yeah.
just felt like a little bit more like I could always be better. Like,
Yes.
eating a cupcake after working out, I just felt like, oh, fuck, like guilty, like that. I'm like,
Right,
geez,
and you
like
look
I wasn't happy. And I think just being happier now, and just accepting my body. Um, I don't know. I just feel so good. I love being in this burlesque team, and even like costumes that sometimes we have to wear with other dance teams. Like I've all right, you want me to wear that tight? That's cool. Like,
yeah.
I just always felt comfortable wearing whatever the heck people told me to wear.
I so love that. You know what? Because it is one of my I guess I want to say that I would like one of my desires I would like is when I'm 90 years old and I look back right now, I want to know I did everything I could because I don't like that feeling, Noemi, when I look back at a picture of when I was 23 and go, dang, I look good. And I didn't appreciate it. So I don't want that when I'm 90 looking back now. I'm like, oh yeah, I had fun. I had fun. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Yeah,
Yeah.
because I do. Yeah, like you said, I look back, I go, man, I was the fittest and I was so awful to myself. And that's why I
Hmm.
want to be best friends with my body because I was enemies, horrible.
Hmm.
And I'm like, God, wow, you were pretty fit. That girl can run circles, but she was miserable. And I'm a lot
Hmm.
happier now. Yeah.
Yeah, it really is here. It's not how you look or whatever. Um, I've become less shallow even with my body. How before, even if I got like I don't know, like I remember when I would be running and I'm very what's that word? I trip a lot when I'm running, and so I
Clumsy?
would get clumsy, yeah, and I would get
Yeah.
scars and feel like almost like my body, like it's, and now it's
Mm,
like I show my knee scar, and
yeah.
it's pretty big, and I'm this is why I changed my life. Like my knee freaking split open, and this is my scar, and I have a gnarly scar. I have a scar, and when I fall, and there's like good stories. I don't know. I just don't feel like like even getting older and noticing, okay, white hair. I'm starting to get white hair, and I love it. I guess just embracing everything, my stretch marks, like
Mhm,
just
mm,
really embracing everything. And I
yeah.
know it's people say this and it sounds almost cliche because I keep, but which is great, body positivity, but like truly preaching,
Yes.
like really truly believing it.
Yeah. I get you,
Of
girl.
like,
Oh,
yeah,
I
and I
get
always
you.
tell Manny, like, if we stay together, if he sees me older and I age a lot more, then I always want to be like a cool, like, hijita,
Yeah.
like, even right now, I told him, I was like, oh, I kind of look like a señorita now. I'm all 30. What am I, 34? I always forget how old I am, by the way. It's weird. So I'm 34, and I'm like, oh, I look like a señorita, like, with what I'm wearing. And I'm like, I look cool. I don't
Yes.
look like a niña anymore.
Yeah. I love that. I so love that. This is a great conversation, especially how to end it because I like when I get tongue tied because that's when I know something hit for me, and I take away something. I'm like, okay, yeah, yeah. The thing that came up for me was I wonder if I could see myself the way my partner sees me. Everybody listening out there, take that one more time. Because the way your partner sees you, it's almost like how God sees you. Like, oh my God, you're so beautiful. You're so this. And sometimes I'm like, really? You know? And so my question is, to myself, I wonder if I can see myself the way he sees me. Wow. Because I think I can, but then I'm like, no, there's so much more. I think I capped it, right? There was like a limit. And I'm like, no, there is more because he sees me as like the way life sees me. And so I wanted to kind of end with that. Did you want to say something?
Yeah, I think I'm fortunate enough to have somebody that's super open minded. Like I shaved my head earlier a few times, and he was like, "Yeah, let's shave it." Like he almost just doesn't care. Like he's just like always accepting. And sometimes when I do say like, "Hi, babe," like, "How did I gain a little? How these pants fit?" Whatever. He's just like he doesn't want to hear it. Almost like I don't
Mm,
know. He's just very accepting with whatever the heck I want to do and wear, not just physically or clothes, just like anything I want to do in life. And my family is very supportive. So it's not just my partner. I'm glad I found somebody like that. And I think I found somebody like that because of my family, how accepting and supportive they are, and
mm,
my friends and family. So it's not just my partner.
mhm.
Yeah.
Wow. Such a gift. Yeah. As you're talking, I mean, I know that if I decided to shave my head tomorrow, my God be like, I
Mhm.
wonder, like, and I'm like, I see this gift and I'm not embracing it where I'm still going from the outside in, you know?
I
Wow.
love
Okay.
it.
Tongue tied. Tongue tied. We're going to kind of end it there. This is so good.
Ah,
Oh, I know. So everybody can find you on Instagram. Miss underscore chula underscore morena. Morena, right? Yeah.
mhm.
And that's her we'll put that page in, or maybe we'll put because I know you have like I don't know how many pages you have, but you have a lot, a lot of
I
it.
just have a personal one, but that's more so for like friends and family. And then I
Yeah,
have the public Miss Chula Morena, which I'm
yeah.
working on a Valentine photo shoot.
Okay, everybody go there, DM her and say what's up and what your takeaway is. And yes, I'm one of mine from this is loving the scars and the things that I like. Here it is. Like I have knock knees. Oh my God, they've always like they give me flat feet, etc. Blah blah. Here's my knock knees. And
Mhm.
like all the things that I've been trying to avoid. I'm like, here they are. Here's my
Because
scars.
we
Here's my
we
whatever.
see these things in magazines or this or all these filters and photo, and it's like you have to look a certain way and
I call BS.
yeah, it I know I keep talking like a lot of like I've seen a lot of great body positivity, which I'm so glad, because there's been like how I look on Instagram and then how I
Oh
really
yeah.
look, and then
How I
people,
really
you've
like
seen those where they just kind of do
with
this
the
and their
Cheetos.
pancita comes out. Yeah, and their pancita or their cellulite, the fittest
Yeah.
people have cellulite, and it's like that's the freaking truth. Like I don't
Yeah.
know why, but anyway,
Yeah.
that's a whole other.
And Noemi, genuinely, honestly, you are living and breathing it. Because there are some, like, I can coach and say it, and then like, oh, Joanna, am I living it? There's moments when I'm not. There's moments when come on, Joanna. But Noemi, you are truly living it. You are being it, like the
I feel so
authentic.
good when I work out and when I work out to feel for my lower back not to hurt. Cause at the time I was driving a lot it's not really like, oh, to get this, for these
Yeah.
pants. Once I changed that thought, I was like, oh my God, I even feel more comfortable running more often.
Wow.
And sometimes, yeah, that changing it as working out because this is a lifestyle. Like you said, when you're 80, you don't want to, hurt your back when you carry grocery bags. Like
Mhm.
that's what I'm working for, as opposed to like looking a certain way. I know it's like it sounds so cliche, and some people might be rolling their eyes, some women or men or whatever. I'm truly believing this and feeling it, and I welcome people to also feel that, and I'm happier in life, and I'm more appreciative of anything.
Amen. In my 20s, I worked out so that I could look good. Now I
Mhm.
work out so I feel good. You know what I mean? So that I'm
Ah,
like, I forget. I'll go on a hike and it's nothing. It's nada to me. Nada.
I love
Or I'll be
it.
with somebody else and they're like huffing and puffing. I'm like, really? I forget. You know?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's helped my dancing, it's helped
Yeah.
my running, my knees. I have a torn meniscus, by the way, and ever since I started working out more home workouts, thank you again,
Yeah.
Joanna, just more home workouts and working on my inner thighs that normally I didn't
Yeah.
really before,
Mhm.
it's really made my knees stronger, and now I don't even have knee pain, and I thought
Amen.
I would have to get surgery. I'll get surgery late. My gosh, I feel good. I feel happy.
Amen. Yeah. Last year, you remember I was walking with a cane. Oh my God. Yeah. And it's just, Joanna, it's other stuff, girl. You don't, yeah. And I was like, I need surgery. I didn't need any surgery. Yeah. Oh, this was really good. I really hope that you and I brought some perspectives, yours, mine, and then people got some ahas. I got some ahas. Thank you, Noemi, so much. Everybody follow her on Instagram. Say what's up. Send her a DM. And until next time, remember to get back up. See you next time.